Okay, so good morning, everyone. So we are starting on time, I hope. And I know it is like 1 minute away, but we are going to start our meditation. But it is, we know that we are going to have a snowstorm. So here, before the meditation, I hope that everyone will be safe. Okay, so and if you really have to go out during the snow, then just be well prepared. Okay, so like gas, some blanket in the car, so prepare for that. Okay, so now we usually start our meditation with walking. Okay, so just a very normal pace walking, and that's it. So you can just walk around your room if you're watching your our meditation in the room or in the dining hall or living room. Okay, but you can just walk around, but don't forget you can set the clock like 4 minutes or maybe 5 minutes, then we can get back to the same time and for seated meditation. Okay, so let us walk. So the walking meditation, the only one technique of the meditation is just be mindful on your breathing, or you can be mindful on the steps that you're taking. Okay, so let us be mindful. So walk mindfully. So you may stay where you are and standing still and be mindful on your breathing. Okay, so let us turn to the Buddha, and we are going to uh, take bows to the Buddha, showing our respect to the Buddha. Okay, so bows. If you are able to bow down, that is okay. But if you don't, then you can just like half bow, or you can just join your palms. That's all right. Okay, so half bow. Okay, so let us be seated. Okay, so the heater is turned on, so you will hear the noise, like right. Okay, so that is the heater. Okay, so I hope that it will be just like a white noise for us to to fall asleep, to 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 meditate. Okay, so you can just kind of like, okay, I'm listening to that sound, like a meditation music. Okay. Okay, so you may have a comfortable seated posture. So whether you are seated on the cushion or you are on a chair, that will be fine. And uh, and the meditation actually is not about the posture, but it is about your mind. Okay, your mind to be mindful, your mind to be focused, to be concentrate. Okay, so we can kind of like develop or do some other practices after our concentration. Okay, uh, so first of all, but for the beginner, we have to start it from the most stable ones. So that is the seated posture. So because it's when you are sitting still, and by sitting still, of your posture and with a stable posture, then you can settle down your mind. Okay, so that is very useful for the beginners. But if you are more or less like advanced practitioners, or you're already practice that meditation for a long time, actually you can practice or you can use your mindful skill or breathing techniques uh, actually everywhere. Okay, so this is something that we would like to do. Use your mindful setup. Okay, or you can like you're already being mindful, then we want to get this set up to every circumstances. Okay, so sitting still includes having uh, a comfortable sitting posture, whether you're seated cross legs or feet on the ground. That is all right. But we have to sit straight through our spine, shoulder relaxed, and chin. You can press down your chin a little bit. You may close your eyes or Keep your eyes half opened. Take 3 deep breaths. Fresh air in and breathe out all of your stress. After taking 3 deep breaths, let us relax ourselves from head to toe. So relax your scalp, your forehead, and your eyebrows. Relax your eyes and nose. Relax your cheeks and lips. Relax your ears and down to your neck and shoulders. Relax your arms all the way down to your fingertips. Relax your chest and abdomen. Relax your back and lower back. Relax your legs and all the way down to your toes. So now we have relaxed ourselves from head to toe. And we're going to do it one more time. And this time we're going to do it from outside in as a whole. So relax your hair and your skin. Relax your muscles, your nerves, and your blood vessels. Relax your bones and joints. Relax your inner organs and your brain. So now we have relaxed ourselves from head to toe and outside in. And we are really relaxed. And it is the best time for us to do the meditative concentration. So what we are doing is called mindful breathing. Just be mindful on your breaths. So each breath that you take in and out should be mindful. So when breathing in, check on how deep the air can reach you. When breathing out, how long is your breath is. So it is just a pure observation on your breathing. So you don't have to control your breaths. So if you feel that your mind wanders around pretty often while doing the observation, or is called mindful breathing, then we can do another techniques called breath counting. So just counting your breath. So take breathing in and out as a breathing cycle. So you count 1 on your first breathing cycle, and 2 the next breathing cycle. So you count up to 5. Then after that, you can go back and start from 1 again. Or if you want to challenge yourself, you can count up to 10. But by doing these techniques, there is only one rule. If your mind has already wanders out, no longer focusing on your breathing, and you lost your number, then you have to start all over again from 1. Okay, so let us try these techniques. And be mindful. Okay, so you may open your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, fresh air in, and breathe out all of your stress. After taking 3 deep breaths, then we can move our body to do our transitional and warm down exercise. So this exercise just includes several movement, a gentle movement, and some stretches, which serve as a transition for us, like for our mind to from the meditation mode and to our daily mode. Okay, so during this time, your mind, we still have to be focused, but focus on the emotions and the feelings that we feel when we are doing these some stretches and some movements. Okay, so this is called sensual awareness. So when we are like right now, we're rubbing our hands, so you feel your skins are rubbing your hands, gets warm, and we cover our eyes with our hands and feel the warmth of our hand, and you may roll your eyeball clockwise and counterclockwise. Okay, then gently rub your face with your hands. So also feel the warmth. Feel the roughness of your hand touching your face. And also, you may massage your ears or pulling your ears. So feel the pulls, feel the stretches of your ears. Then put your fingers and on your head and then comb downward. It's like combing your head. So use your hands instead of your nails. Okay, so not nails scratching your scalp. Okay, but your hands brushing your head and your scalp. So in Chinese acupuncture, there is a very important, we call it acupuncture point here. Okay, so it's like you're combing your head from the head of the top of your head and downward. Okay, so that is this exercise, like combing your head, actually can kind of like energize and yourself and make yourself, kind of like feeling fresh, because it's kind of like we're making blood circulation on your scalp. Okay, so making it circulate faster. Sometimes there are knots here, so you can just pressing there, and then you can slowly, gradually massage down to your neck and then your shoulders. So it depends on your what your job is. Sometimes if you are working very hard on the office desk, or you are making chores, right? Okay, so you will feel the stiffness of your on your shoulder. So you can just massage your shoulders, then down to your arms. Press down, press your hands against each other. This is the I feel very I like this 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 action, okay, because you will feel the pull here. Okay, so then maybe you can just kind of like massage here. Okay, then rub your hands again and put your hands against your lower back and rub your lower back. You may do an up and down motion, or you can do a circular motion. So it's both are very fine. Okay, then put your legs down, massage your legs. So actually, once you hear this, the wooden fish, one knock of the wooden fish, if your feet is really painful, your legs is really painful, or then you can, remove or kind of like loosen it, loosen your feet. Okay. Okay, so now we are going. I found a new way for our. Okay, there you go. Okay. So, oops. Okay, so now I hope that everyone can hear me much clearly. So, last Friday we were talking about uh, the life of the sixth patriarch for the Zen tradition. So now I would like to continue the rest of his life. Okay, and before that, I would like to share with you a book written by my master, Venerable Master Xing Yun, and this is actually what I have talking about the life of the sixth patriarch actually was from a platform. It's called a sutra called Platform Sutra. Okay, and my master wrote a commentary, so it's called the Rabbit's Horn. Okay, the rabbit. Do we the This rabbit has horn? No, right? Okay, we all know. And actually, it was a very famous analogy, the rabbit's horn, uh, in in Zen school about we are looking for something that is not existed in the world. Okay, so it's called rabbit's horn. Okay. So maybe later we're going to talk about it later. Right. So we're going to focus on what happened after uh, the sixth patriarch, the young Huineng. He was being accepted in the temple of the five patriarch. Okay, and he was doing the kitchen work. He was sent to the mill wheel to doing the milling. Okay, so at that time, during it's about like 600 AD. So it's like all things are being done by manpower. So he was doing the mill. He was doing his work, okay, milling in the mill wheel and separating the shell of the rice. Right. Okay. So that is his job. Okay, so so he spent times in the temple doing some work in the mill wheel, and then Then what happened is that the temple actually has a senior monk, and he is the assistant to the fifth patriarch. His name is Shen Hui. Okay, so because I'm going to talk about a poem they wrote. So because my English limitation, so I don't want to, misinterpret. So I use these to to be a reference of my story. Okay, so Shen Hui. Okay, so so hard to memorize, right? Hui Nen. Okay, so they're so similar. Okay, I Shen. Okay, Shen. So he is the assistant and very, very knowledgeable in the temple. So he serves as the assistant to the fifth patriarch, right? And he was being deemed as the successor to the fifth patriarch. Okay, so it was kind of like, oh, you are, like you should be, the sixth patriarch, like that. Okay, but nah, it's wrong. Okay, so Shen, he was very, very knowledgeable. So there was one time the fifth patriarch have an announcement to the temple disciples or the temple monks, the sangha, okay, in the temple, in his temple, and he said, okay, so in order for me to know every, how far or how good you are on your practice. Okay? So you are free to submit your work, your writings, okay, describing your work, okay, especially describing your attainment. Okay, so all the sanghas or the monks were kind of like looking at the Shen because they know that they are not qualified, right? Okay, so why not ask the most, the brightest students, right? Okay, you're the teacher's favorite, so go ahead and make the work, and then we are free, kind of like. Okay, so they are so humble. So they are, kind of like, I'm my attainment was not really very well, so I might maybe I won't submit it, right? Okay, to embarrass myself, right? Okay, so that is their thoughts, right? Okay, there are a lot of thoughts. Okay, so Shen is the one who are taking the responsible to write a gatha, means a poem, okay, a poem, uh, and submit it to the fifth patriarch to show how he learned and how he attained, right, or what he attained, right? Okay, so he was kind of like worried. Shen was worried, and he was kind of like really uh, doesn't know how well he was performing. So at last, he wrote he wrote his poem on a wall, on the wall of the temple, and thinking about that and he didn't write his name. Okay, after the poem, okay? Thinking so by thinking about like, oh, because I was writing on the wall of the temple, or outside of the shrine, then it was a really obvious spot. Everyone will take a look at it, so including the teacher, the fifth patriarch, right? And if the fifth patriarch recognize it, then I will say, hey, the poem, the kata was written by me, okay? But if it was so bad, the comment was so bad, then uh, then I will be just keeping quiet. Okay, so it was cute, right? Okay, so he was thinking so cute. Okay, so by not, not uh, writing his name. Okay, so citing is very important, but because of not very confident on his ability, so he chose to do so. Right. So what was his gata? His gata is as followed. Okay, the body is a Bodhi tree. The body, okay, so and the mind is like a bright standing mirror. Okay, so you can just think about a standing mirror, a dressing mirror, right? Okay, in your closet or beside your closet when you're putting on your wardrobe, you're going to check on how you look, right? Okay, so the mind is like a bright standing mirror. Okay, so I think the mirror should be bright, right? No stain on it, no dust on it, right? Okay, so diligently clean it at all times. So cleaning the mirror, right? So in order for you to see clearly, right, and reflect clearly, so it does not attract dust. Right. So this is the Gata Shen's wrote. Right. So he was kind of like after he wrote, right, and he was writing the Gata in the night. Right. Nobody noticed. Okay. So that was his plan. Okay. Then. Right. Then in the morning, everyone found out that there was a new writings on the wall outside of the main shrine, and it attracts all people gathering and reading the poem or the gata. And so as the teacher, the sixth patriarch. So the fifth patriarch. So the fifth patriarch, came and read the poem, the gata that the Shen wrote, and he said, "Wow, well done. Okay, this is a really very good work." Okay, but this gata, okay, does not transcend, or it's not the highest standard, right? So, but this is a very well done gata. If everyone did this, like, according to the gata, then you will be guaranteed that you will have a good life. Okay, so this gata describes human behaviors or the ethics of the human world, right? Okay, so the body is the Bodhi tree. We know that the Bodhi tree is where the Buddha sat to enlighten, right? Okay. And so he has an analogy on the Bodhi tree. So and Bodhi actually is a very significant figure to Buddhists. Right? So Bodhi actually means the enlightened, right? We get enlightened relying on our body, right? Okay, so we can't just kill ourselves and like doing nothing, right? Okay, so we're relying our body to do our practice, to do our cultivations. So our body is very important. So that the Shen took analogy of Bodhi tree as our body. Okay, so the mind is like a bright standing mirror. This is a very good analogy because our mind sometimes reflects what we have encountered, right? Okay, so just check on what you have dreamed, and sometimes it was something, right? You can relate it to something that happens around you, right? Or in near future, in the past, or in recent time, right? Okay, so not in the future, sorry. Okay, so in the past. Okay, so the mirror actually reflects, as we said, reflects what we have encountered. Okay, our what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, right? Right. So sometimes you in your dream you will hear sounds, right? You dream you're going to pub, you're hearing sounds, you're hearing music, right? Or you dream about that you are eating, right? You're eating your favorite things, your favorite food, and this tastes so good, right? So, or you're dreaming you're in a garden, right? You smell something, right? Right. But actually, this was in your mind, right? Right. You're smelling, you're tasting, your eyesight, you're seeing in your dream, you're hearing in your dream. Uh, Always your dream, right? It was a function, right? Or some functions of your mental works or consciousness, right? You're conscious. Okay, so it reflects something that you encountered. Right? So that is a standing mirror. Okay. So what we are going to do as a Buddhist or as a practitioner, we have to clean the mirror all the time, right? So cleaning your mirror, like we're detoxing, right? Okay, so it's just like you're eating some food, right? Healthy food. You're eating what you are, right? You're what you are. You're what you eat. You're what you eat, right? Okay. Then actually, your mind it's also the same. You're what you think, right? Okay. So you have to clean every time, all the time. Okay. Make sure that there will be no bad thoughts or negative thoughts, right, arising. So it does not attract dust. Okay, so dust here, the dust is also a very good analogy of the defilements in Buddhism. Okay, so dust actually equals to some worries or some thoughts like jealousy, anger, greed, several, like hate, like that I can't have any. Okay, so those negative thoughts. Okay, so this is really pretty. Oh, sorry. This was really pretty good points. And if we really do so as a Buddhist practitioner or a practitioners, actually, we can make sure that we are a good man and we are a happy man. Okay, a happy person. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, because we have no worries, we have no negative thoughts, right? Okay, and we don't get angry or get greedy or get jealous to the others, and we are worry free. Okay, but this is only on the about people. Okay, so it is a behavior of humankind. Okay, actually, it is a human ethics. Okay, so it is very good, but we have another things. We have to go deeper. Right? Go deeper on that. Okay, so this is the comment of Fifth Patriarch to Shen's work. Okay, so Shen was being called by the Fifth Patriarch and said, "Is this your gata?" And Shen said, "Yes, master." And he said, "Oops, okay, did I did wrong? No, you're good, but you have to get deeper. Okay, so why don't you get a new gata for me?" Said the fifth patriarch. Okay, so Shen got another mission saying, oh yes, I have to get another gata, right? Okay, so he was kind of like again scratching his head, and he was really doesn't know what to do. Okay, but the fifth patriarch had a commentation on the previous gata, right, of Shen, said, oh, this was very good gata. Okay, so why don't everybody recite it? Okay, so it's like, yeah, the body is a Bodhi tree, the mind is like a bright standing mirror. Okay, so everybody, being asked by the fifth patriarch, was reciting this gata, the first gata of Shen. Right? And so everyone was reciting, including those who were working in the kitchen. And the young Huinan heard the gata and asked those who were reciting, said, oh, what an interesting poem that I have heard, or the gata. So who wrote this and where was that? Where did you get that? Okay, so the one who was reciting, you know, having the story, full story to to the young Huinan. Okay, and the young Huinan said, okay, like touching his chin, and said, actually, I have another gata. Like, wow, you know what? You know? Okay. You know what? Okay. And then, kind of like they get surprised because, those who were, he was, very, very a young man and doing works, heavy works in the kitchen, and he didn't show his brightness on or his talent before, so everybody got surprised. And so the young Huinan said, I had my own gata. Can you lead me to where the first gata was, and write it, and help write minds beside it? and and the person was kind of like startled, like surprised, because okay, so you're sure that you can do it, right? Without any confidence. And you said that you don't know a word, you don't know how to write a word, you're illiterate. Yes, I'm illiterated, right? But how do you get a gata? Okay, so the young Wayne said, oh, being the wisdom does not equals to being literated, right? Okay, so okay, so that person brought Yang Huinan to the wall where the first gata was written. And the young Huinan said, okay, so he said to that guy and said, oh, this is my gata, so please write it for me. Essentially, so this is the gata, the young Huinan said. Essentially, Bodhi is not a tree. Okay. The bright mirror is also not standing. Inherently, there is no thing. Where can it attract dust? Oh, yay. Okay, so let me repeat it again because this is very, very important. Right. Essentially, Bodhi is not a tree. The bright mirror is also not standing. Inherently, there is no thing. Where can it attract dust? Okay, so it is kind of like a questions, right? All the questions and showing, and also by questioning the first gata, he was making his point, right? Okay, the young Huinan is making his point. Okay, so Shen's wrote, right, on the first
sentence said, the body is the Bodhi tree, right? It's like the Bodhi tree. Okay. But the Young Huinan said, actually, essentially, Bodhi is not a Bodhi is not a tree. Okay, so he reveals, okay, the Young Huinan reveals that when we are talking about Bodhi tree, but tree, can be named after Bodhi is because that the Buddha get enlightened under the tree, right? Okay, yes. Okay, okay. So tree was named after because we want to commemorate the you know the action of, or the uh the action, or not the action, okay, the event. Okay, I don't know how to describe that. Okay, that to commemorate that the Buddha got enlightened, right? Okay, so actually Bodhi is a concept, not just a tree. Okay, and the bright mirror is also not standing. Okay, because when we are talking about our mind, right, how do you describe your mind, right? Okay, 名俊亦非台, okay, okay. So how do you describe your mind, right? With an action, right? Okay, so here is like you're using an adjective, right? Okay, not a standing bright mirror, right? So actually, our Buddha nature are indescribable, right? So you cannot use standing to describe your own nature. Okay. Inherently, there is no thing. Okay. So actually, it pinpoints on a very essential teachings, or a very core teachings of Buddhism about emptiness, right? Okay, so essentially there is nothing. Where can it attract dust? Right. So actually these points is more, if we compare with the first kata, actually it was deeper than the first one, right? Okay. And this is also getting very deep into the core teaching of Buddhism, right? Okay, talking about the emptiness, talking about non-self, right? Because you cannot describe yourself with an adjective, or or anything, right? Okay, so how do you describe yourself? Maybe you will pause, right? Okay, there are a lot of adjectives, right, arising in your mind. Okay, so you have to choose one best suits for you. But okay, does that word really describes you? Okay, right? Okay, so that is some points that we are making, right, in Buddhism, right? So how, if there is indescribable, right? Okay, and all of our dreams, when we are talking about thoughts, we're talking about minds, right? That is being a reason. There are thoughts arising, but can you grasp one thing saying, oh, this is me? Very hard, right? Okay. So when we get deeper, we know that things or thoughts arisen from our mind, maybe not representing it doesn't best represent oneself, right? Okay, so if it doesn't best represent oneself, how can it get dusted, right? Okay, so it can't attract any dust, it can't attract any worries, or of developments, what we call, okay, in by doing the analogy of the dust. Okay, okay. So after that, the young Huinan left, and the role so as the one writing, right? Okay, so but this Gata, okay, appeared, right? And it attracts crowds, and it attracts words also, right? Oh, there was another anonymous Gata here, right? Right. No one would like to write his name below, right? Okay, so not kind of like claiming their own property, right? Or like wisdom trademark, right? Okay, right. Right. So with like there is a property there. Okay, so okay. So the rumor, okay, that there are, not rumor, but there are words, okay, in everyone's mouth, right? Okay, right. And so the fifth patriarch heard that, oh, there was another Gata written outside of the main shrine. Okay. See how they ruined the main shrine. Okay. All right, all right. So, or it's like a graffiti. Right? No, no, it's not a graffiti. All right, so, the fifth patriarch came to the same wall and looked at the second Gata, and he recognized it in his heart, okay, not in his attitude, okay, because he knows that this person, the one who wrote, was the young Huinan, which was being sent by him to the kitchen, right? Okay, so but he was worried because without any signs, there was someone like a rising star, right? Okay, who was pop up in the crowd without no reason. I maybe there were it it will attracts the eyeballs of the crowd also, but there will be a lot of words being talked, right? Okay. So the excuse me, the fifth patriarch took off his shoe, okay, and wipe away the young Huinan's gata, the second gata on the wall, and said, "Oh, this is nothing. It doesn't, seem something." Right? So, uh, but the fifth patriarch, by seeing the gata of Huinan, knew that the young Huinan is the one. He's the one. Okay. All right. So he one day he came to where the young Huinan work, the mill wheel, and said, "Hello, I I'm the teacher, right? Okay. Yes. Yes. All right." And he said, they were kind of like talking riddles again. Right? And so the fifth patriarch said, "Oh, the rice has already riped, right? Because he is doing the mill, right? Okay, he's doing the milling work. So this is the work. The rice has ripened, so it means that the grain was riped. Okay. So it means that, are you ready?" Okay, right? Okay. And the young Huinan said, "Yes, master. It's it was ripe, but there was the last procedures being done, which is the filtering, right? The filtering of the shell and the rice, right? So it has it only lack the last steps, the filtering. Right. So the fifth patriarch, using his his stock and said a staff, right? So sorry, staff. I mean that is a staff, right? Okay. And then hitting the table 3 times. Okay. Then the fifth patriarch left. And so 3 times means 3 o'clock in midnight. Okay. And the fifth, so the young Huinan knew it is their, kind of like blackbird, right? Okay. Hey Hua. Okay. Right. Like under, sometimes if you are in a gangster, right, you have some languages that being understood between you and me, right? Okay, so okay, so the young Huinan came at 3 o'clock in the midnight, and midnight, okay, 3 o'clock in the morning, right, to the room of the fifth patriarch. So the fifth patriarch talked and taught, right, to young Huinan about the Diamond Sutra. And finally, the young Huinan got the final enlightenment. Okay, so, and he received the teachings of the fifth patriarch, and at that time, he became the sixth patriarch. Okay, so, but he was not a monk yet. He was, he was an ordinary people. Right? He was a lay person. So the fifth patriarch said, okay, so now you have already receiving my teaching. Here is the sign of the teaching, the sign of the lineage, my rope and my bowl. This was being handed down by my teacher, the fourth patriarch. Right? So now I pass it to you. It symbolizes the traditions. Right? But I hope you can do more than that. Not just passing the robe and the bowl to another person, like what we are doing right now. But I want you, and I see the potential in you that you can spread the teachings of the Zen tradition. Okay, so this is something that was kind of like very heartfelt teachers, right? Looking upon on his students, right? Okay, so it was kind of like, oh, I have, and I can see the potential, right? Okay, so just don't, and right now it's not your time to teach, right? So you have to go south, right? And maybe years after, you can teach, right? At that time, you can teach. At the time fits that you can teach. Oh, okay, so the young Huinan gathering his stuff with the robe and bowl, which symbolize the lineage of Zen, and so he flees. Okay, and of course there are another stories when when the young Huinan is fleeing, making his own way. Okay, so next Friday, we're going to talk about the fleeing of the young Huinan, or you know, it's very very interesting. So I'm very glad that I have read this book, because before I think it was too deep for me. So I was not kind of like dare to open it and read it. But since that I have had a chance to talk online in the previous service. Okay, so I really get interested in this platform sutra. So I would like to share with you, and because we are, my lineage is from Renzai lineage, Zen lineage, Renzai Zen lineage. So in Chinese, it's called Lingji, Japanese Renzai. Okay, so all the same. Okay, just a pronunciation different. Okay. So Lingji actually is also one of the lineage from the sixth patriarch. So I would like to start it with the sixth patriarch because the fifth patriarch, seeing the potential that the sixth patriarch, the young Huinan, or the Venerable Master Huinan. So now he's not young anymore. He has already a great master, right? He was a great master. Right? So the Master Huinan actually really did what fifth patriarch said, right? Like he's seeing the potential of spreading the teachings of the Zen lineage. Right? So there are 5 other lineage, like what the best well known is the Zodo Zen and also the Renzai Zen. Right? So this is the 2 major ones right now. Right? But before there were 5, and even we can say 7. Right? 五家七宗. Okay, so it depends on how we classified it. Right? So that all starts from Master Huinan, the sixth patriarch. So I would like to share and go more detail on this and in a more correct ways. Right? So it is not just from my own memory saying, like doing doing some stuff. Okay. So I have talked too much because I have used up the time for our second sitting sessions, and I do apologize it, but I really want to share with you about the young Huinan or the Master Huinan's story, because this is quite important to our Zen lineage, to our traditions, and also it is quite important to the Zen traditions. Okay, that differentiates the Chan, right, the Zen meditation, right, to to whom? To the meditation of the Theravada schools. Right? They are very different. Okay, and why? Because of the guy, Master Huinan. Okay. So today, thank you very much for listening and meditating with me. And I hope that you can listen well because my microphone is in front of me. And now we are going to thank the Buddha, right? Okay, and all the good causes and conditions. This is what we want, what we do every time after the meditation, because we want to show our gratitude to every possible conditions, right? Okay, or to the conditions that make these things work. Okay, so now let us stand up. And let us thank the Buddha and all the good causes and conditions that make the meditation possible.
So thank you very much, and I hope the best of you. And there are some chat. Someone who left the chat. Let me see. Okay, so thank you, Zheng Li Yan. Okay, so that the Chinese characters she wrote is Namo Amitabha Buddha. Okay, so 3 times, and thank you. And Namo Amitabha Buddha means the infinite light and infinite life. So I hope that everyone gain your infinite light. Okay, the bright side in life, and also infinite life means that the most wisdom. Okay, so we can get the bright side of the life, and also be wisdom, more wisdom. Okay, so thank you. I will see you next week, and enjoy the snow. Okay. Yeah, I really expecting the snow. Okay, so yay, we got snow. Yay. Bye. Bye bye.